Hello and welcome back to the Wandering Wind. It is currently 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the Eastern Seaboard. And I just managed to finally get everything back to being usable for my webcam, my editor, and everything else. Let me tell you what happened and why I uploaded so damn late. Okay, first of all, let me get this out of the way first. I have been and always will be a Microsoft person, mainly because Microsoft Windows is the most compatible operating system out there that can work with any hardware compared to Linux. I mean, Linux, sure, it makes things run faster. You don't get as many viruses. You're not forced to do updates and stuff. But at the end of the day, can it run a decent video editor? Not unless you shell out some money, and I have none of that right now. Or does it have a good video recorder program? Not really. So, yeah. I'm screwed as far as this goes, unless I want to go with just making mediocre content. So I go for the better route. Okay, so today, well, no, last night I was shutting everything down and getting ready for bed, and I'm like, okay, this has been hot. This has been yelling at me for the past 2 days. Please update your software. We have new updates and stuff. And even though I have Windows 10 Pro, and I had at one point disabled all the automatic updates, yeah, they're right back on. Yeah. So, yeah. So I go ahead and hit update and restart, because I know if I hit update and shut down, I'll have a hell of a time getting it to boot back up in the morning. And so I go to sleep. The next morning, I wake up. It's Sunday morning. I go to church. I have a great time. We do some worship and learning and everything else. And then I come back home. And I'm ready to get started on my work day. Well, my computer isn't. I go to log in, and it's got the login screen. It's got all the particulars that you need to right there. I click the mouse button, and it opens up to where you have your password field. I enter in my password. I hit enter, and that's when I first noticed something's wrong, because it's taking forever for that sequence of light balls to load up so that we can get to the desktop. So then it finally gets to the desktop, and it's blank. Nothing. No wallpaper, no menu bar, nothing. And I'm like, what gives? Okay, maybe I'll restart it, it'll do its thing, and it'll be better. I restart it again. Well, and it's still blank screen. Nothing's coming up, so I'm like, okay, Control Alt Delete, and I hit the Start Program button on the Task Manager, and I type in Explorer.exe because that's Windows Explorer. I've had a few times where I've had to type that in manually in order to get the Windows desktop to come up. It didn't come up. So now I'm completely at a loss for what to do. So I just go ahead and restart it again, and the same crap happens. So I'm like, okay, is there a way to reset my computer from boot? No, there isn't. So I'm like, okay, I'll use my other computer to write an image to a flash drive to use to reinstall Windows. No. First of all, the only program I can find for it is because I'm using Linux on my other system. My other system's now dead. But I was using Linux on my other system, and so I'm like, okay, use this, write an image to a USB drive. No, it won't do USB drives. So then I'm like, okay, write it to a DVD. Nope. Because guess what? Even though a standard DVD, look right here. DVD plus R. 4.7 gigabytes, it says. 4.7 gigs. It was registering a little over 900 megabytes. Megabytes of storage space available. Yeah. And I've got to write a 4 gig file to this. Nope. So I'm like, okay, what else can I possibly do? I'm like, I got the perfect idea. Perfect idea. I'll go down and use my mom's computer. So I finally go down, I use my mom's laptop. It's slow as hell. I've got a couple extra sticks of RAM now, but they don't fit because evidently hers is DDR2 or DDR1. I think it's DDR2. Maybe it's DDR3, I don't know. But anyway, the RAM is a different kind, so I couldn't upgrade hers to make it faster. But I'm like, okay, I'll go down, I'll write the file to the USB drive, and that'll be it. And it takes its sweet time. I get back up here, I finally get everything ready to start installing Windows, and I'm like, oh crap. I've got files I need to get off that damn thing. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to be using that system anymore. It's slow as molasses anyway. I got the hard drive. I got the RAM. I don't know if there are any other salvageable pieces, probably not. But I got the hard drive and the RAM out of it, and I toss it. And I take the hard drive, put it in this thing. It's the same size. It's 250. So I take the 250 hard drive from that, put it into my laptop rig as a desktop, install Windows 10 on it because I have to, and then I proceed to wonder why I can't access the files on the old hard drive. Well, then I look up tutorial on how to access files on old hard drive from computer. I find out I need to get into the permissions and give myself permission to access the drive. I finally get there, and then it takes me about 2 hours to transfer all the files off of the old hard drive onto the computer, and then from the computer to my extra spare hard drive, which is a 1.5 terabyte hard drive. It hasn't run out of space yet, although I've come close, and it's usually because I keep junk I no longer use on it. So, yeah, on occasion I have to do some spring cleaning. Don't I? It's a Seagate green model. It's 1.5 terabytes of storage. And considering I'm a YouTuber, that can fill up pretty quickly, which is why I tend not to try and keep a backlog of more than 2 months of videos at a time on my hard drive or on my computer. Usually after that, I take it, compress it into a folder, and then there you go. But anyway, so we've got that. I finally got all the files out of the hard drive, and so I format it, and then comes the lengthy process of reinstalling everything. And by everything, I mean everything. At reinstall Chrome, reinstall Filmora, reinstall the Logitech webcam software, for God's sake, reinstall my iTunes, iCloud, and everything else account, because I use this computer in order to manage my iTunes, because I have free music that I've acquired over the years from different CDs I've owned. It's just you need iTunes in order to be able to put it on your iPad. Yeah, go figure. So I finally get all that done, and then here I am talking to you guys about everything that went on today. I hate Windows 10. I'll actually post an update to this video tomorrow. But for now, this has just been a rambling video from the Wandering Wind. Thanks for watching. God, I hope tomorrow's better than today was.